Holding.
And now let me introduce Crowel, the dungeon master for this game.
Jump the gun a little bit. Okay.
Feel free.
Yep. Give me 1 second. The story did not pop up as fast as you read that off. Cheating and going back.
That's fucked up.
Okay. So the story of Baldur's Gate starts on the plain of Mount Celestia. The angel Zariel chastised her peers for not getting involved in the Blood War. She felt it was her responsibility of the angelic host to destroy all evil in the multiverse. Zariel left Mount Celestial and went to Elturel, where she rallied an army of warriors and trained them to fight in the Blood War. She promised them that when they were ready, she would lead them into battle on Avernus. Zariel did lead her army into Elturel amid the throng of cheering and well-wishers and proud citizens. In an epic charge known as the Ride, Zariel's army entered Avernus and took the fight to the Archdevil Bell. Many of Zariel's warriors fought bravely, but others, the horrors of the Nine Hells, proved to be too great. They fled back through the portal, sealing it behind them, and never revealing their shameful retreat and betrayal. Known as the Hell Riders, they would wear this badge of shame to the grave. On that fateful day, Zariel lost more than her army on Avernus. She lost a hand, which was severed in battle. As her sword fell to the ground, Zariel ordered Yale, her most devoted general, to take the weapon and hide it, so the devils would not destroy or corrupt it. Yale took the sword and fled, along with Zariel's faithful Holophant companion, Lulu. Zariel's other two generals, Olathanius and I'll butcher this name for sure. Haramon, let's go with that. Refused Zariel's side. All three were captured and sent to Nessus, the lowest of the nine hells. There, Zariel was brought before Asmodeus, who welcomed her with open arms. The Lord of the Nine commended Zariel for her battle prowess and the strength of her convictions. He offered her rulership of Avernus, much to Bel's chagrin. By swearing the fealty to Asmodeus and the Nine Hells, Zariel could bring her rage to bear against the demons and continue the fight in the Blood War. With legions of devils under her command, Zariel accepted Asmodeus' terms, completing her fall from grace. Haramon followed his master into damnation, willingness, and transformed into a Narzagon devil. Boy, I really came up with some weird names for these. While Olathanius, who took his own life rather than bow before Asmodeus, was brought back to serve as a Death Knight under Zariel's burning gaze. Zariel never forgot about her betrayers. Those who ran from the battlefield, she kept a close eye on Elturel, waiting for the day when she could act her revenge. That day came in 1444 DR, when Elturel was conquered by a vampire lord. A priest of Torm named Thavius Krieg appealed to any power to help him save his holy city. In that instant, Zariel emerged from a pillar of fire and offered him a deal, which Thavius readily accepted. In the sky over Elturel, a radiant sphere called the Companion appeared, blazing like a second sun, powered by a planter imprisoned within it. The Companion bathed Elturel and the surrounding countryside in holy light, which sent the vampire lord scrambling for the shadows and laid waste to his undead army. Thavius Krieg, who took credit for summoning the Companion, was hailed as the savior of the city and rose to become the High Overseer. Under Krieg's decades-long rule, Elturel embarked on a path to becoming not just the holy city, but the holy nation of Eltergard.
Can you
Thavius
say
was
that?
told. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
can you say the gentleman's name one more time? Xavius
Yep.
Krieg?
Thavius Krieg. Thavius Kreeg.
You know why I'm not going to forget that name?
Why?
Do share.
Because that's Ripclaw's name from World of Warcraft and from Children of the Night. His character's always named Thavius.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, interesting. Okay. So, Thavius was told the exact time when the companion would cease to protect Elturel. In the weeks leading up to his fateful hour, Thavius urged Grand Duke Ulder Ravengard of Baldur's Gate to visit Elturel to help settle some long-standing disputes between the two cities. Facing political pressure at home, Ravengard reluctantly accepted. After greeting Ravengard's delegation, Thavius Krieg fled Elturel in a secret passage and safe distances from the city. The companion transformed from its radiant sun into a black orb, awash in crackling energy. It ripped Elturel from the material plane, transporting it and all its inhabitants to Avernus. A few other city folk managed to escape before Elturel disappeared, and only a crater now remains. Disguised as a refugee, Thavius Krieg was one of the first people to arrive in Baldur's Gate, with his nephews of Elturel's destruction. Or, hold on.
It's okay.
Retract that. Baldur's Gate with news of Elturel's destruction. He slipped through the city's gates with the help of his influential friend Duke Vanthamper and took refuge in her home. And that's where the story begins. With a phone call.
That was the bell of the story beginning right there.
So,
real
go ahead.
fast. Where did we go under notes to look at the intro stuff again? Okay, there it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, all of you guys have been in Avernus. Some of you have been in Avernus for days or weeks or months or years.
Baldur's Gate.
Baldur's Gate, sorry.
They're just saying, oh man, we're starting already.
we were sent to that. We were sucked into
So you guys
Elturel.
are in hell.
And what you see on this day is the refugees are storming the gates. They are based on the map. Oh, that's not the map I wanted. They are over at the Basilisk Gate, pouring in from the outer city.
Okay.
So up until today, I don't know if the rest of the guys are all in Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate has more or less gone about its regularly scheduled program, except all of a sudden, refugees just started showing up by the hundreds or whatever.
Correct.
Okay.
But we're already based within the city itself.
You are already inside the city. Otherwise, you would have to try to get your way into the city, which I thought was kind of a ridiculous little story plot.
Okay.
So you guys are all in the city. Some of you guys have, rooms and tavern where you played games and socialized. Some of you have jobs. But all of y'all are familiar with the Flaming Fist, and you know that the Flaming Fist are attempting to corral the Horde at the Basilisk Gate. And that's where the intro will be. So what I would like everyone to do is let's clear the log, and everyone roll a percentage dice, and whoever has the highest percentage, we will do your intro first.
I don't know how to do that.
All right. Right click on the D10, and there will be a percentile on the top left corner.
Okay.
Done.
Damn, 93. Ooh, damn.
This is tough competition. 19.
Something's wrong with these dice.
Why couldn't I
Alright,
roll that when I
so-
was rolling for extra stats and feats and shit?
We weren't using the system.
Fair.
Alright, so we'll start with Zeke.
Who rolled
Alright.
the D100 plus 2?
I had to modify all my.
And it's still,
Still rolled lower than everybody else.
still came out at the bottom of the thing.
Had a modifier off by accident while messing
All
around
right.
earlier.
So Zeke, why don't you introduce yourself as much as you want, and then we'll talk about the intro.
All right. All right. My name is Zeke. I'm a little bit of a suave man, if you couldn't tell. I actually come from the West Coast, if you shall say, from the city of Waterdeep. I'm in search for my long-lost family, who I believe was murdered long ago in a house fire. And the only thing I have left guiding me is a medallion and a pendant that was left for me in a box at my 15-year birthday. And it was completely untouched by fire. And I'm trying to figure out if my family's either alive or if someone knows who did it and is trying to lead me there. That's basically all I can say for now.
So, based on his search for truth, he spent the better part of 3 months dodging the law and playing Baldur's Bones in Elfsong Tavern. It's a game at times that's provided you with a night of excitement and wealth, but most of the time it leaves you broke and beaten. This morning you wake up on the street, lots of noise fumbling around. You hear in the background, Elturel has fallen! Elturel is falling! Get the news! Elturel has fallen! Running through the streets. You have no idea how you got to where you're at. You have no recollection of really the whole last week from your drunken stupor. You are covered in bruises and scrapes. You check your pockets and take inventory of all your belongings. Nothing is missing. But you also find a note saying, at noon, be there or I'll finish the job. Signed, Oliver. You have no idea who Oliver is, and no idea why you have this note.
Are we role playing now, or are you talking about his real life?
Wait.
So I was like, I didn't know what's going on here. I don't.
my first thought is, oh, what the fuck is the movie? Oh God, guys, help me out here. Vegas.
Oh, Hangover.
Hangover. Why is there a baby here?
So Zeke, what do? You wake up, you're on the street.
My initial thought is, oh shit, not again. I sit there, I like rub my temple, and I stand up, and I go, well, guess I'll try to retrace my steps. I had to have been at a tavern, and so I guess I'll go to whatever tavern would be closest.
You're very much frequenting Elfsong Tavern on a regular basis, so I would probably say you were within the vicinity of that.
I will do my best to stumble back.
Okay. All right. While you're doing that, let's see who was next in line.
That'd be me.
Kent. Go to yours. All right. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name is Samariel. I have been alive for quite some time. Even going back to the point when Cormanthor was still the home of the elves. My parents were guardians would be a bit too much, but they're certainly protectors of that land, and they were killed when a number of Alhoons actually opened up the gates into Avernus and brought forth a demonic horde. Um, after this all happened, I was fostered in the Dale Lands for some time, and much like my parents, I showed aptitude at the wizardly, arts, and trained and became a somewhat skilled wizard. Unfortunately, that only lasted so long because when the spell plague hit and many other wizards like myself lost their ability to touch the weave, I lost mine too. Except I didn't get mine back when the crisis was over. Um, Seeking an answer as to why I lost my powers or lost the ability to perform um, any of the even basic spells, I spent months and years and decades studying it every place I could possibly find to figure out what had happened to my abilities. Um, Lo and behold, after wandering, the lands, I ended up in Candlekeep, where I came upon some information about time magic and twisting time to do my bidding and hopefully to get some of my powers back. Well, I did, and I was able to, contact or actually touch the weave again and start performing magic, but all my prior knowledge has been basically had to be relearned. And after spending enough time in Candlekeep, I moved north to Baldur's Gate in search of just other means of augmenting my magic powers, and that's what I'm doing here in the city. I'm actually looking for possibly a group of people to um, travel with me, or rather, travel with them, that I can search further than I would be able to do on my own. And that is more or less my intro.
So, being deeply impacted by the spell plague, you still struggle to regain your powers and your magical heritage. While in Baldur's Gate, you've tried to make an honest living. Days have turned into months, and it even seem like years. You feel like you finally starting to put things back together a bit until last night. The terrible news hit the Baldur's Gate like a tidal wave. Elturel had fallen, leaving destruction and chaos in your path, in its path. Not staying by and taking this lightly, an inner spark that you have not felt in a long time has been dormant in your heart, lit up like a sun, even for a brief moment. Determined to do something, you start asking questions, going from your local haunts to and throughout the streets. You happen to catch the eye of a man in dark robes who approaches you and has been following you for some time while you've been in the streets. Speaks very softly, saying, "If you really want to help, you need to see a man named Zaj."
Where can I find this Zaj?
You needed to go to the headquarters of the Flaming Fist. Zaj is the current leader. He will show you the way.
Okay, then with all due haste, I will make my way to the Flaming Fist headquarters and uh, see if I can approach and ask around about a man named Zaj.
Okay. All right. Who's next on the list?
That'd be me.
All right. All right, Kelly, go ahead and introduce us to Perseverance.
Gentlemen, name's Perseverance, but my friends call me Percy. I'm a country boy out east from the Dale Lands, breadbasket. Now, I may have grown up out there originally, but, well, not for very long. I've been taken in, grew up around adventurers all my life. been a companion to an adventuring group known as the Laughing Stock. Wandered around for quite a bit. I'm a paladin of Timor, Lady Luck herself, been tutored under my mentor Mockery. Unfortunately, my mentor passed away a couple weeks ago, and I found myself in Baldur's Gate trying to continue a deed that has passed on now to me. And that's all
Okay.
you're getting from my 3-page backstory for now.
That's fine. Percy is at the Temple of Timora, and while he's there, a messenger shows up at the door and delivers a message. Message reads as the following. Mockery, your skills are needed. I'm recruiting you to the Flaming Fist. Come at once, fulfill your oath to Baldur's Gate. Zodge.
Accepting the message, I'll make my way out to the Baldur's Gate to the Flaming Fist's headquarters. Asking around to see if I can get directions. I assume I'm not super familiar with the city.
Okay.
Ow.
That would be that part. All right. Before we get over to Badger, let's return to Zeke for a second. How are we progressing, Zeke, going to Elsong Tavern?
Well, I guess I'll walk in and I'll go to the bar and go, you know an Oliver?
And the barkeep, Alan, who you know really well, tries to go, shh, keep your voice down. Don't mention his name out loud. What is it you want to know about Oliver?
I will slip him the note that I found in my pocket. Go, I found this morning and I'm not quite sure where it came from.
And Alan will look at the note and reply back saying, are you in trouble with the Flaming Fist?
Sure as hell hope not. Gotta be honest. Look, if you could have me like any direction, I can't remember anything from the last week. Any direction that you could point me as to hell I can find this guy?
You mean you don't remember last night?
Am I supposed to?
And he points over to the table of beer mugs and knocked over and dice that appear to be missing a few from being thrown across the table. A knife stuck in a board,
And
he just kind of points at it and says, "That was all you."
and instinctively, Zeke will reach down and he'll go 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay. First off, we're gonna start with the basics.
Did you
Who the
just
hell
check
is...
if you had your dick and balls?
My mind went to the same thing. I wasn't going to say anything.
Yes, I did. He's been in bars one too many times.
You know, the best would have been if you went 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank God.
We're gonna start with the basics here. First off, who the hell is Oliver? How can I find him? Second off, why is the Burning Blade looking, or Burning Fist looking?
I say that's all the same answer. Oliver's one of the major generals for Zodge, and if he's looking for you, you better figure out what Zodge wants with you.
Did you overhear anything I might have said of where I should be today at noon? Oh, what time is it?
It's like early morning, like 8 in the morning.
Oh no, my guy actually he panically says that to the barkeep. Like, what time is it? He didn't even bother to check the time when he woke up. He just walked to the bar.
It's like you got time. You just need to start. I would head over there as soon as possible to find out what's going on. And yeah, good luck to you.
Sure, I'm gonna need it. Can I have one for the road? And I'll slap a gold coin on the table.
So you still owe me 15 gold for last night, but all right, fine. Here, and he tosses you a beer, just in
I'll
case
make it
I
up
don't
to
see
you.
you again. We'll call this your bar tab settled for now.
He'll give like the little salute and go, "I'll be back. I'm sure I will." And he'll pick up the beer and start walking out the door.
All right. Let's go to the Badger now.
All right. The thing says there's a knock at the door, so there's a knock at the door.
Oh, you
That's
just
the
want me to
bathhouse.
jump right into the intro, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been in Baldur's Gate for a while. You've become somewhat infamous, tracking down lowlifes, other questionable people for the past 2 or 5 years. Time kind of flies. Little meaning to you. Unfortunately, you've racked up as much debt as you have profit. Therefore, you still live day to day. You've been known to take a few jobs for the Flaming Fist in the past, so you built up a friendship with the Flaming Fist soldier named Thalkara. On this morning, you wake up in your room, and you had been renting near the bathhouse. You do not remember how you really got there, or what you did the night before. The last thing you remember is a horrible lunch you had at the Elfsong Tavern. You look at your hands, and they're covered in blood. You check your body for wounds and find none. You rush over to the sink to wash your hands, but the blood will not wash off. The harder you scrub, the hotter the water, nothing. The mirror begins to fog up, and as you look to see something in the mirror, and this should work. That is what you see in the mirror.
You just showed that to all of us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I don't see. Why am I
Does that
supposed to be looking at this?
Should just be like a square mirror with marking on it.
Oh, we got his
Mm,
intro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
We
what I
got just
wanted
his
at all.
intro.
Don't look at my intro. How
Ooh,
dare you?
Wait, maybe.
Hold on. That's what I wanted to share.
Oh,
Sorry.
What is that?
That's the mirror. So it's all fogged up, and he sees these little streaks written on it.
Oh.
like really? I see like 4.
You do.
Is this like one of those things where you have to like cross your eyes to figure out?
Nope. So there is no other sign of what transpired the night before. Then all of a sudden, you hear a knock on the door.
Who is it, eh?
It's me.
Me who, bub?
What do you mean? It's me.
You better give me more info than me, or else you're gonna get my axe in your face.
It's me. Just
I'll
open
go
the
over.
door.
Who's
I'll
on
go over to
first?
the door. All right, I'll grab my weapon, go over to the door, and crack it, and look outside.
Okay. You see a picture of a woman dressed in a black hooded robe. And she's looking at you, and she's like, finally, you answered the door.
What do you want, lady?
I have another job for you. And she'll reach in her pocket, pull out a note, and hand it to you. And it's got the mark of the Flaming Fist on it.
Another job? I don't remember even doing a first job.
What, have you lost your memory? Just when you get there, tell Zodge that Solstice sent you.
Oh, okay. I shut the door. I'll read the note.
Okay? The note just says, pretty much the same as some of the others. Be here at noon. Job for you. We'll pay well.
All right. So I go back to why. I mean, I guess my hands won't come clean, will they?
So what do you do about that? So you try washing them, and they're still stained with blood.
I don't do anything. I get my gear on and I'll go at noon. Time is it? In the morning, I need to eat breakfast. I need to eat something.
It's everything about 8, 9 o'clock in the morning for everybody.
All right. I'll eat, tend to my gear, and then go there where I'm supposed to be at noon, which is what, the Elfsong Tavern?
Yep.
Okay.
And so you're putting your gear together.
Yep.
Okay.
Checking
Then
my gear.
all of a sudden you hear another knock at the door.
What do you want, bub?
No one answers. You hear another knock at the door.
Bob, who are you supposed to be, Wolverine?
I think that's what he's going for.
I ain't gonna ask you a third time. Who's knocking on my door, bub?
Now all of a sudden you feel someone shaking you.
All right. I'll look around. I thought I was up. Maybe I'm not up.
And at that moment, you realize you were still dreaming. You now open your eyes, and you look up, and you see Solstice standing over you with the exact same letter you just dreamt about, and your hands are clean. And she's like, "Man, you've been sleeping for days."
Really, you gave me the J.R. Ewing entrance?
Told you I was having fun with these. I said, "Now, you need to go see Jazaj, and he's got a job for you. But don't tell anyone about this one. This one's got to be kept hush hush."
Yeah, that's what you already told me, eh? And you gave me
What
a
do you mean I
note.
already told you? I'm just now seeing you.
Whatever. How'd you get in my room?
I have a key. You gave it to me. This is
Nah, that doesn't sound like me, eh?
well. Here, take your key back then. And she tosses it on the table and walks out.
All right. Now I for real get my gear ready and
All right.
get some food and then head over there.
And then you feel someone shaking you.
I know, right? I thought that you were gonna tell me I wake up in the shower and
Nope.
I'm like, oh no, nobody killed me.
Okay. The last one is Aramon.
Okay.
Because there isn't. Man, we're missing out on the fun one I did. All right.
That, look, he may not be here, but you can.
I might do his
certainly
intro anyway.
introduce- you-
I just
I'm
want to know
going
that
to-
he
I think I'm
woke
going
up from
to
a
anyway.
swamp and wandered into town.
No. His is much better than that.
Oh God! Wait. Let me take a guess. The refugees are living on his land.
Nope. Better than that.
Let's do tabs and then we'll go into his.
Yeah. Let's do Tev. Go ahead, Tev. All you.
So, I be a lone wolf as it kind of goes, being a druid of the moon. Anyway, so what happened is I ended up being abandoned when I was young, at roughly the age of 5. Mother took me to a woods and tied me to a tree and left with a tear in her eye. I was there for roughly 2 days. And then
nice, Mom. Go ahead.
God, Genasi, child rearing must be rough.
anyway, so after about 2 days of being tied there, seemingly going mad from hunger, I see a group of 3 bears walk up to me. And I wonder, at first, what they're doing, and then I go to try and attack at them. They end up being druids, and they end up helping me out. They took me from the tree and then raised me as one of their own in an entire tribe of them. Or, is it tribe or clan? Or, I forgot.
I think they'll
Damn,
probably be clan.
Yeah. But I was raised by them, and then after years and years and years, at roughly the age of 21, I ended up deciding I wanted to go out and figure out the one answer to a question that was eating at me for the entire time, which was why. And so then I left and went out in search. And then that's it.
All right. So, you've been traveling for several months on your quest. You've had little direction, little advice, little bit of information here or there, but nothing really conclusive. You visited the place of your nightmares only to find that the entire area, the tree, the forest around it, had been converted into a farm. What was is no more. What it is now can only be described as a pitiful, empty solace in your heart. You continue on visiting Candlekeep, El Terrell, and now 2 weeks in Baldur's Gate. Spending as much time as possible in bars talking to people that are very leery of you. They're trying to, they don't really want to converse with you, but they tolerate you from time to time. Try and piece together the distant past. Found yourself on this morning, slowly opening your eyes to the smell of vomit and alcohol. You're in the tavern of called Low Lantern. The barkeep is eyeing you intently. You have a bar bill of 150 gold pieces, and he's wanting to collect. At one of the tables, keeping an eye on you, is a human that wears the familiar garments of the Flaming Fist. Minaqua.
All right.
So what do you do?
Am I like sitting at a table like I was resting over the table?
You were asleep on, like, head down on the table, and you're just waking up.
Okay. In that case, after looking around and seeing that, I hit my head on the table and go, never again.
And the barkeep comes out. He goes, "You gonna pay your bill today?"
I don't know. Was it my bill truly?
Well, it's been going on like 5 days now. Tab's up to 150 gold pieces. It's time to pay up.
All right. I reach down to a patch I have, and I pull out 10 gold. And I put it in my hands and hand it towards him.
About that time, Minaqua stands up, walks over, kind of looks at you for a second, double checks. She pulls a little piece of paper out, double checks the piece of paper, looks at you again, kind of shaking her head, rolling her eyes. She's like, this must be the guy. And she looks at the barkeep and says, "Look, I'll pay his tab." And then she turns to you and says, "But you owe me. You gotta do something for me.
Oh, what do I have to do?
You need to meet with Zodge at noon today, because they have something for you to do, and it will pay well."
Guess I don't have a choice. So where at noon?
At the Flying Fist headquarters. And she kind of crudely draws a map and a street sign and says, "It's go there, show them this, and she'll hand you a note, and that will get you in."
All right. I take the note and the crudely drawn map, and I go on my way.
And the barkeep looks at you and says, "Next time, have gold. I'm not letting you run up a tab anymore. And this isn't an inn. Get yourself a room. Vagrants and blah, blah, blah." And he goes and storms off into the back to clean up, get ready for today.
I stop for a second there, and I just sigh. It's like, never again. And I step out.
All right. That's all the intros except for Holies. So I'll just share Unholy because I think I had a lot of fun with Unholies. So give me 1 second. I should share out to everybody. So Unholy's in town, and he hears the words "sold." He looks around, and he's on a stage in front of about 24 people. Everything is black and white. He feels an itch on his neck, and he begins to scratch, only to realize that he's scratching with his hind legs, not his hands. He blinks and realizes he's still shapeshifted into a dog form, and he's in a cage. He then hears the voice to the left, "Lot 666. This canine was caught running through the woods, chasing a fox." The voice continues, "Who will give me 1 silver for this vile-smelling thing?" Off in the distance, you hear a soft, pleasant voice shout, "I'll take him for 1 gold." Auctioneer does not even hesitate. "Sold! Get this thing off my stage. My lady, I suggest a mask and a bath for this mutt." You realize that the cage is carried off the stage. Realizing it is you that was just sold. You try to shapeshift back into normal form, but you're unable to. You try to talk, but all you hear is yourself barking and growling. Once the distant voice is now much closer, and you hear it say, calm down. I will have you free shortly, but you must do something for me." And that's where he was supposed to try to figure out how to actually talk to this person while in dog form. So, and
Okay.
Ilestri is another general for Zodge.
Okay. So
So that's it.
You want to end it for here for right now?
Yep.
And
Let's just end it there, because then we'll probably have to do a recap for Holy when he joins next week, and then we will start with everyone approaching Zodge's office at the same time.
Dope.
Unless y'all
Cool.
do something before then.
yeah, that's cool, man.
Think so.
That'll work.
And just to show you how much that I cut off almost 1.5 chapters by just doing it that way, instead of having y'all walk around asking a bunch of people how to get into town. That's the
Okay.
entire first chapter.
So
Right on.
out of curiosity,
Mhm.
the front page on Fantasy Grounds has that picture of like all the demon hordes and everything.
Right.
Do you have different pages like Roll20 where that'll change it to different maps, or is that just kind of there?
Yeah, no, I could change it.
Okay.
I just chose that one just because I like that one.
Okay. I'm just curious. Because I'm not seeing it from the GM's perspective, so.
Yeah. Actually, it looks no difference at all. The only, I just would go in and just like I could ease. Here, hold on, just to kind of show you.
I do like it. I do like that background, like just the fact that you got the leather.
So I could change it to that one, which is overlooking, Baldur's Gate, which probably would have been more appropriate for today, but
Yeah, right. But you can't change it to like a map or something with tokens.
I can, but I have to upload it to a different folder to do it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you can take any of the other maps and make it the background and override it. So like if you bring up any of the maps, let's see, let's go. Make share this one back out with everyone. So you can get it, and then at the very top there's a little arrow that points to the top right. If you click it, it'll make it your background instead.
Where is that?
At the very top right corner, there's a little arrow that points to the top right, right next to the X question mark. Just click on that, and it'll make it the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
It just
So you can
moves
do it that
there.
way. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep. It supplants it. But anyway, welcome to Baldur's Gate, everyone, and
Okay.
Cool.
we will
Good stuff.
pick this up on Sunday.
Sounds